Wait,
Wait, you're sensitive to avocado?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have some sort of. I'm very hesitant to call it an allergy because I don't have any sort of breakouts or anything. But if I eat an avocado, my stomach is ruined.
can't handle that spicy guacamole.
Right. It's very. It sucks.
It's kind of pathetic, but
Yo, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
good morning.
2 seconds here to close all these widgets and bobs. All right.
Word.
Word.
How's everyone doing?
Good, good. Welcome to room 145. Everybody that is joining us this fine Sunday morning as we spring ahead and all lose an hour of sleep. So, sure everybody's feeling that. Yeah,
you're
I'm
right.
Jordan.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, man. You don't forget when you got a
God,
baby.
yeah.
You don't forget that you lost that hour.
That's what I was saying. Oh, okay. Excuse me. Didn't notice the hour, huh? Well, good for you.
Right.
And
Right.
why don't you go ahead
I
and
just have
get out of
two
here.
very lazy dogs. I don't have a kid.
Right. It's gonna be interesting. I'm just hoping this hour doesn't completely throw off the sleep schedule that we have arranged, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm Jordan. Welcome to room 145. I'm here with my two brothers, John beside me, Alex above us. We are here to talk to all of you fine people, focus on good things, spread some positivity, calm your mind, and avoid the trappings of the negativity that are out there in the world. So focus on the good things. See what happens for your life. It's an experiment we're all running here. So join us. Let us know how it works for you. Word, bruh. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers. Good morning.
Good morning. Anything on the week worth
Jay?
discussing?
Well, we had some really nice weather, so actually probably the best moments of the week, we got to go to the park a few times on some of those nice days and go for some long walks with Iris. She loves being outside, so that's been the highlights of the week for sure. Being able to get
Do
out.
you like throw a stick for her?
Yeah.
She loves being outside.
Dude, this kid plays fetch with me though. It's starting to get annoying, man. She realizes that if she's in her high chair eating and she has toys in front of her, she knows that she can just throw them, and then I'll pick them up, and then she's just keeps throwing them. I'm like, God damn it!
Dance monkey.
Right. Get it again. Go get it. I threw it. I want it back. So,
Yeah.
John, congrats on the new job.
Dude.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Yeah.
So nice. I was telling people I've been thanked more during orientation than I was in the last 5 years at my last job.
Oh man,
it's really weird. Everyone I'm training with are like, "What? So when is the bomb gonna drop?" And I messaged I messaged them this last day after a week of orientation, and I was like, "I don't think there is a bomb." They were like, "Yeah, it's looking like that. It's really weird."
I hope not.
How many people are in orientation with you?
3. 2 nurses from neuro ICU and one that used to work in pediatrics, and they're doing the same type of position, which is a transplant coordinator essentially. And I'm the odd man out, both because I was the only man and because I'm doing a different position than them.
Gotcha. And not a medical background.
Correct.
Interesting. So all of them have the same outlet on, or I guess outlook, not outlet, on the environment, the company you're working for so far?
Yeah, relative to for sure, definitely. What was that?
It's cool.
Sorry, I'm getting a.
It's awesome, dude.
Alex, anything new in your world?
Well, I was on spring break this week.
Hmm.
Whatever that means
Did
in
you
community
get
college.
Did you get lit? Did you get all wild and stuff?
Yeah, I got what do the kids say? Swag.
I don't think they say that, man.
Oh, they don't? Huh.
That's
No.
probably like
Oh,
4 years
well,
ago.
you would know, John. You're the hip one.
Boomer.
It's true, right?
No, it's been cool. Just kind of been taking it easy this week. We had taco night last night, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, homemade tacos.
Yeah.
Nice.
Aside from that, just hanging out, working on my project.
What's your project?
It's just for school. Our awesome teacher gave us.
Do you have to do a poster board?
Yeah, the trifold.
Yeah.
Gave you a
It's a nice
project to
science
work
fair.
on over spring break.
Yeah,
Cool.
Real
That's
cool.
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Is it on
here's
how
your week of-
volcanoes work? Or
Yeah, you just put hydrogen peroxide and like Alka-Seltzer tablets. That was our project.
okay.
Diet
That's
Coke and
good.
Alka-Seltzer. Go.
Or you do you like power up a light bulb with a lemon or something? Is that
Potato.
Ooh,
That's
a
right.
potato.
That's right. It is
Wow, good
potatoes.
for you.
Yeah, we're deep into American engineering.
So
We'll start doing
it all
we'll-
started here with the lowly potato.
we'll start doing math soon. I've heard.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you. And good for America. We started from the bottom.
So condescending.
Now we're not the bottom.
Mm. Yeah.
Right. I'm trying to think back. Man, everything I have written down this week is all work related. Everything is for work, which writing has absolutely made myself more organized, getting things done. So I kind of write out my day, kind of my goals, and then because I do need to keep records of things that I'm doing on digitally, I kind of start it on paper and then transfer things over, and I just cross my things off as I'm going through. It's nice. Much less forgetful. So it's good.
He's like, I discovered a planner this week.
Yeah, right. Well, I've
dates, times.
tried to use them before, but I just never was organized enough to put it into practice.
You got a trapper keeper? Is that what they call
He got one of those with the glittery unicorn.
them? Right. You tip it upside down and all the glitter floats to the top.
There you go.
It's
You
very
should
nice.
take that to work.
It's got like a little lock on the front.
For sure. Learn to.
Did you have your coworker sign it?
Oh man.
You signed my planner.
The only one person signed it, and they just said it'll get better. So I think things are looking up.
Hags.
Wow.
Have a great summer.
Hags.
Hags.
That's it. Hags. Learned a badass new riff on the guitar this week, though. So that's pretty exciting.
Oh yeah.
Is it from something, or did you just
Yeah,
teach yourself?
No.
Yeah.
Although I am starting to try and do my own thing, which is kind of lets you know how much you suck again. It's like
How creative you are.
yeah, you're just totally starting over again, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, see if I can.
Yeah, pull up the riff for sure.
All right.
Quickly.
Do you have a?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we don't have all day. I mean,
Yeah, everyone's watching.
Yeah, right. We should. Here you go. It's "Kiss of Death" by Dokken, George Lynch. Everybody's enjoying this.
So that's you playing.
Jesus, no.
That's
on.
incredible.
The main riff.
That's a good week.
I'm just impressed you're able to drum as well.
Yeah, right. That's all me.
At the same time, yeah, that's nuts.
Although I can play that whole riff, that whole thing, and the next thing he does, which is more simple. But
Prove
also,
it.
Prove it. Get your guitar out right now. Turn your amp on.
it wouldn't. I don't think it would come through mic'd up. Plus,
No, it probably just blare out the speakers.
plus, well, the microphone is just too far away. It just wouldn't. The audio settings I have set up for Twitch wouldn't be conducive for that. But
okay, yeah.
Hey,
sure.
we can do it another time. That's fine. But yeah, guitar is definitely something that you also. It's not something you just pick up and start jamming. There's a warm up process involved.
Well, I mean,
sure.
some people probably can just pick it.
Well, yeah. Some people.
I bet if I played guitar, I could just pick it up and jam.
You know,
One-handed, just pick it up off the ground, just start shredding.
I'm extremely confident that that's not the case.
No, every time I hold a guitar, it feels like I'm holding someone else's baby or something.
Just
Like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Just
here.
It doesn't belong here.
what do I do? For sure.
Yeah, I could just start jamming with my teeth. Yeah, pick it up. That's my warm up.
Warm
I
up.
haven't flossed this morning yet, so 2 birds.
That would be awful. Oh my god.
So
Flossing with nickel steel.
the only thing I learned today is that one of my pupils is bigger than the other.
Like
That's it.
permanently?
Yeah,
Riveting.
yeah. So I didn't learn a new riff or anything, but I had someone tell me that, hey, one of your pupils is bigger than the other.
Damn, someone
First
was
time I ever
really
heard it in my
looking.
life.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Someone's really staring.
Yeah, well, when you're around people in the medical field, I guess they just start looking at stuff that could be wrong with you. Yeah. They're like, yeah, unless you have like some sort of brain bleed, I think you're fine. And I was like, oh, okay.
Jacqueline
So if I'm still alive in 2 hours, then it's just it's fine. Right?
It's
She
good.
said, yeah, you're doing fine, it seems. So
Oh my god. That's hilarious.
As
Jacqueline
soon
asked
as
for
he
a
pointed it
divorce
out.
instantly.
I don't even want to hear that because if you look at her nostrils, no, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
Although, John, if you ever got a mole on your face, she might. That might.
Right,
I'd have to
right
have it
dead
removed,
center.
yeah.
Dead center of your forehead.
Yeah, that's true. She would absolutely cut it off with a steak knife, or you'd have to set up a procedure.
Just take a curling iron to it. Just...
Oh my God.
Jesus. Man.
Okay.
That's how you get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you go into the dermatologist. That's what they do. They pull out the curling iron, let it heat up for 20 minutes.
Yep. 20 minutes. Good God.
And you just rest that on there like a tortilla.
You just panini your face.
Sorry,
Oh
we
my
just
God.
went to Chipotle, and then you made me think of that.
Oh, Chipotle.
Dude.
Jacqueline she's like the first time she got the burrito, and while she was eating it, she just was setting it up, and it was standing vertically. I was like, your burrito stands.
I've absolutely done that.
Yeah, how do you not do that with a Chipotle burrito? I thought everybody does that.
Just a diaper full of meat and cheese and beans.
Just an aluminum foil diaper. Just
Right.
Dude, when I used to work there was this kid on the wrestling team that would come in, and he would order double meat, double sour cream, and guacamole. You had
That's
to
it?
triple wrap. You had to, no, with everything else. So he would do everything else,
Oh,
but those
okay.
are the key factors, and you'd have to triple wrap it.
Dude, the ladling
you
of
imagine-
sour cream that takes place at
Oh,
Chipotle is gag
It's
worthy.
absurd.
It's
Absurd.
It's so terrible.
You just give it a little.
A stripe.
What's that? There's a saying, a dollop of Daisy, right? It's already
Yeah.
it's in there. Just follow the guidelines.
Yeah,
Hand
a
it down
dollop
from-
isn't a ladleful.
Dude, they just goop it on there.
Do you remember when that restaurant wasn't it Nick and Jimmy's that used to have that on their menu? One of their sandwiches. That was one of the descriptions for one of their burgers. It was like Angus, whatever, gooped in ham.
Gooped.
Gooped?
Yeah, because it had a
what is
piece
that?
of ham on top of
That
it.
is
It said that
not-
on the menu.
It's not appetizing.
No, it's not an
Mm-mm.
attractive word to
It
describe.
had an egg
a
on
burger.
it too.
It's like
So it was like
glopped.
an egg gooped with ham. Yeah.
Gooped.
Okay.
Yeah. No bueno.
Yep.
No bueno. Totally was going to say something else about Chipotle. Oh, apparently, if you, I don't know if it's DoorDash or Uber Eats, one of the two. If you do that with Chipotle, dude, it gets highway robbery real quick. At work, the other supervisor ordered 3 people on my team Chipotle like last week or the week before, and it was like $100.
What?
Yeah, yeah, they were like $20 burritos.
Well, you can order alcohol, right?
Well, they weren't ordering alcohol. They weren't ordering booze at work.
Dude,
Well, you
I
don't
wouldn't
know.
be so sure. How can you explain that?
No one can explain that. It was probably
It was
a typo.
probably a typo. Nope.
No.
We actually asked because our uncle obviously was working there at the time. It was gooped in ham.
And he showed a proper form of how to goop something.
Blech. I can just think of like a slimy gravy covered piece of ham. Just go slap it on there.
Did you just turn that into a noise? Goop.
Gloop.
That's gooped. Appropriately gooping something. So yeah, don't DoorDash your Chipotle. I haven't done it myself, but yeah. My boss saw
it was so expensive.
the bill. He was like, "How in the hell was it $100 to get 3 people burrito bowls?"
Yeah, the
Did they
burrito
get
bowls was what,
chips?
$7?
Yeah, he said they were like they were almost $20 a piece. So
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I'm sure they got some
got
additions
chips.
and stuff. Yeah, well, chips, of course.
They got
Then it
chips
makes
and guacamole.
sense. $60
Guacamole's
for
extra.
chips, right?
If it's
Yeah,
not a
guacamole is like
vegetarian.
$17.
Yeah, it's extra.
No doubt.
During
I think
COVID,
isn't
the
guacamole like
avocado.
$4? That's pretty ridiculous. Isn't it $4 to add it to your burrito?
It's at least 2.
Okay.
You're gonna look that up, Jordan?
If that's real life, dude.
$5 milkshake.
No bourbon in there or nothing?
There's milk and ice cream. It's $5, dude.
Oh, it's at least $2 though.
Yeah.
But
Hey, see if
Which
I
is
can-
crazy because you can get all the ingredients for like a full bowl of guacamole for like $2.50.
yeah, I mean
Yeah.
avocados aren't
They're not-
expensive.
and then you get a lime, some salt and pepper, and a little bit of garlic.
Is that how you make guac?
That's pretty much it, right?
You ever tried to peel one?
What?
Huh?
What did you just say?
Oh, it's a labor charge. Yeah. No, it's looking at the chat.
Oh,
So
peel
you ever
one.
tried to peel one?
Peel a what? An avocado? Xenomorph.
No, you just bite into it like an apple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What you bite through the skin.
I
just
I put the whole thing in my mouth and I spit the pit out.
and the skin.
Could you imagine?
2 spits, 1 bowl or 2 bowls because you can't eat the pit because it's poisonous.
Right.
So that goes in there.
That's the old
then
Viking.
That's
method.
all. That's all you got to do to make guacamole. You spit the pit, you spit the peel, and then swish it around and spit that in a bowl. There's up, and then you got guacamole.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Spit.
You
the
shouldn't
pit.
be peeling them.
Sticky.
Why am I
heavy.
learning that my wife peels an avocado? You just cut the thing in a circle, split it, and then scoop.
Yeah. Yeah, you do a ring, like a slice around the whole entire thing. You pull it, take the
Mhm.
knife, stab the center of the pit, twist it, pop it out.
Pull it out, and then grab a spoon and
Mhm.
2 sides
It's
of the
$2
avocado.
to change
$2.
from no to change from rice to cauliflower rice is a $2 upcharge.
Dude, cauliflower is not expensive though. So that's
Right.
Interesting.
Guac is $2.25 extra.
Dude,
That's insane.
don't you dare tell me how to cook. Poor Jordan can never enjoy guac.
True. I have a sensitivity, okay?
Wait,
Wait, you're sensitive to avocado?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have some sort of. I'm very hesitant to call it an allergy because I don't have any sort of breakouts or anything. But if I eat an avocado, my stomach is ruined.
Can't handle that spicy guacamole.
Right. It's very it sucks.
It's kind of pathetic, but
Hey, we're about
Dang,
positivity
dude, look at
here.
Jack said older siblings get all the good genes.
Jesus. Yeah, so I just made a burrito. I didn't even do all the extras, but for a delivery of a steak burrito bowl with guac, with nothing else added to it, no drink or anything, is already $15.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you add chips
dude.
yet?
No,
Chips
I
will put
didn't.
it right over
I didn't
20
add.
bucks.
I didn't add chips. Is another $1.40. If you want chips and guac, it's another $3.65. And then if you want a Mexican Coca-Cola, that's another $3. Dude,
What's a Mexican Coca-Cola?
It's made with real
cane
sugar. Yeah. Jordan has the way better personality. I see you.
Oh damn!
So that's because you guys can talk IT and drive Ray and I mad.
You guys can talk IT. Bleep bloop bloop.
Yes, for sure. Oh, I speak in acronyms. This is fun.
Oh, HTML. Oh, XML.
All right,
files.
HTTPS /
colon / Isn't that what?
If you ever hear Jacqueline and I saying those, something terrible has happened.
You guys are having an affair.
No. We are having
Morse code.
We are having a stroke. We're not. That's what's happening. We're malfunctioning at a much higher level. Jesus. Yeah.
Start bleeding from the eyes. HTML.
Right. Just Austin Powers fembots. Just heads start exploding.
I've got the chest hair to take you off or take you to the next level if you start twitching. So.
Internet protocols label for. There you go. So if you hear us talking about IP addresses, IP addresses is when you know things are turning in nefarious. What is happening?
Oh.
What the hell have we even talked about?
Nothing.
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Your sensitivity to avocados, apparently.
Yeah.
And,
it's a bummer. It's a bummer. Well, it was like a process to track down. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I thought it was sushi at first.
You can talk about it if you need to go through the whole thing.
No, I don't need to go through It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, we can, discover yourself together with you.
It's a safe space.
I've already gone through it. It's been like
are you sure it's the guacamole though?
You don't need to get violent. It's okay. This is a safe place.
Can we clap like this?
Have you ever tried guacamole away from Ray? Because maybe it's Ray.
Yeah, maybe she just gives you indigestion.
Dude, that would be. Could you imagine? I mean, I'm sure someone's spouse does that too. I'm sure someone's spouse does that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can probably stop talking about guacamole.
Seemed like a good stopping point.
Although it's very healthy, it's got some nice fats. It's green, which is good. And babies like it. Baby stomachs can handle it, just not Jordan's.
So is that going to wrap up our guacamole talk with a couple facts?
I think we just restarted it. Let me look up.
Yeah, right. What are some good things about guacamole now?
Yeah. Avocado. Let's see. It's probably going to be like, medical news today. Here we go. It's healthy for the heart. Avocados contain 25 milligrams per ounce of a natural plant sterol called beta. I'm not going to say that word. And regular consumption of that word has been shown to help maintain healthy cholesterol levels. Well, it's good for vision. So if you put carrots in your guacamole, you can see at night. That's what this says.
Proven fact.
Helps with osteoporosis.
I think it's harvested with severe poor practices. What, like the people that work avocado farms have terrible safety protocols in place? Workers' rights violations? Oh, yeah. I mean, I could see that.
But it's also it lowers your risk of depression. Did you know that? Because it contains high levels of folate, which may help decrease the risk of depression.
Maybe the workers have to eat it, show up to work to fight their depression.
No, it's definitely like it's definitely like a case of beer.
Sure, and that's what it is. It says it improves your digestion. So maybe your digestion is just garbage.
Yeah, maybe you just have a bad gut.
It's possible.
Yeah, you got to repopulate that thing. So I would eat. I got
a probiotic currently to do that.
Nothing but avocados for a week,
dude. I will
avocados and yogurt.
No seasoning. No. That's what you can do. You can actually make an avocado bowl. So you cut the avocado in half. Well, never mind.
With your hands,
the whole avocado in your mouth.
You cut your avocado in half.
Spit the pit out.
Spit the skin out. Chew, swish around, gargle, spit the avocado in a bowl, top with yogurt, put it in a bowl, put it back in your mouth, swish it around, spit that out.
I would actually absolutely puke doing that.
Projectile bomb.
Yeah,
put it in the fridge uncovered for 2 days.
Oh,
and then eat it.
No, then you open your fridge and instantly vomit from that smell.
No, you leave it out in the sun for 2 days.
Dude, yogurt is
the nice curdled smell.
Yogurt is the worst thing that humans have ever made.
It also says antimicrobial action. So maybe you could be dispelling and purging all of that nonsense in your gut. Maybe that's what's going on.
Proteins found in avocado are similar to those in latex. There you go, guys. Maybe that's why my stomach doesn't like it. Stop eating butt inspection gloves.
I'm gonna say no.
So eat a condom. You just went full latex there. Yeah,
I feel like only you did though. Like, I'm still talking about avocados.
Yeah, I mean, John and I were still on the avocado thing. And
read the chat,
and then you're talking about eating condoms. Are you okay, dude?
I was ignoring these people.
Talking about eating condoms. So yeah, if you want to, that's the next Chipotle item. That's only $1.60 upcharge instead of $2.60. If you want them to just throw a condom on there instead of an avocado.
Yeah.
As long as they're new.
So wait a second. What if
this is what's happening right now?
Was actually the tortilla of the burrito, and then you filled.
Oh.
Just filled it with corn and cheese.
Yeah, I'll take.
Why was your first ingredient corn?
I'll take all 3 salsas
with corn and cheese.
I want all 3 salsas at the tip, and then I want if you put the meat.
I need it halfway filled with sour cream.
Yeah, kind of like shaft-oriented meat, and then toward the top you can give me lettuce and whatnot. Yeah.
No protein though. No protein.
Yeah, well, because you don't need it because there's protein.
Because of the condom wrap. Yep. That's genius,
dude. You know what?
So, are you talking about the proteins or like the amino acids?
There are edible condoms served in restaurants.
What?
Okay.
How do you know that?
I just looked it up. It's in a Michelin-starred Hong Kong restaurant. Of course, it's
no way. I refuse to believe that. At a Michelin star restaurant, they're eating condoms.
Oh my god! No, hold on. Everybody needs to see this.
Screen share.
Yeah, Ray, stop posting links. Dude, you guys are. This is not okay.
Okay. So,
look at this. It's called Sex on the Beach.
What's in it?
Condom.
I can't look at this anymore. I can't.
No, but like, what's the thing?
Does it really matter?
But it's fake.
No,
though, right?
it doesn't. Not.
Michelin-starred chef in Hong Kong.
Made. Yeah, it's like made to look like it though. It's not actually, right?
You know what? That's
like
probably
sugar.
Instead of an edible pink condom nestled. No, it's an edible pink condom nestled across the.
Well,
maybe you know what? There's probably
the
just
shape of it.
Yep. Hold on. We need to know. It's a flimsy.
You do.
It's a sweet, flimsy pink sheath, and inside is a white, gooey substance. Wow. Why? There's no renegade in the kitchen. He starts by dipping a cigar to a tube.
It's to raise awareness about HIV.
Okay.
It's kind of derivative.
Okay. A sign could have worked.
Or like a charitable donation.
Yeah, like all proceeds for 10% of everything we sell will go to this.
A flimsy pink sheath.
Dude, why would you? Come on.
Okay.
Isn't all right?
Nuts.
It isn't actually made of latex.
Good.
Or for
Well, yeah.
Okay, anything condom like. It is old fashioned, huh?
It's fashioned, however, to look like
a coital a coital wrapper.
Coital wrapper.
Dude, only someone that, gosh, that's the most pretentious thing I've ever heard, I think.
Post-coital wrapper. One other use of the word coital. Apparently, the actual terminology for the pull-out method of birth control is interruptus coitus.
Mm-hmm.
That's Latin, right?
Yeah. It has an actual name.
Yep.
Anyway,
we all knew that.
Wow, we have covered
yeah, we took
some
Latin.
ground.
Covered a lot of ground in 31 minutes. This is great.
Yeah, I apologize to everyone.
Well, Ray wanted me to tell you that anyway. I didn't see the chat, but there you go. I just did. Interruptus coitus.
Okay. So, yeah. So if you only had 1 year to live.
Right. Yeah, back to our topic.
Jordan was like, I'm flying to China, and I'm going to try that meal.
We're going sex on the beach to eat a post-coital wrapper. A pink sheath.
Fleshy pink sheath.
Good Lord. Why'd you add fleshy?
Yeah, gooped in ham.
What the hell's happening?
It's disgusting. Right, so back to our topic.
Yeah, what we're going to be actually...
Toward our topic, I think.
Right.
Toward it.
Yes. Starting our topic.
Yeah. So, real quick fun fact to change gears. Did you guys see that video about breathing while you're running?
No.
So.
Was it
just for anyone to try if you're running, if you do running or in anything endurance, something to test out to help yourself out is to do 2 inhales through the nose in succession and then breathe out, then exhale. And it's just basically to, I guess, create a decent variability in your heart rate that tends toward increasing your endurance. Because it's all about the volume of your heart, I guess. So
yeah. Have you tried it?
I have not yet, but the people that were talking about it were much more capable of talking about that than I am. So give it a shot.
I have to give it a run. Who was it?
It was on that Lex Friedman podcast, and he had that. I think he's a neuroscientist or neuro PhD or something like that.
Who was it?
Let me actually just show you.
Was it Henzo Gracie? That has his breathing technique that he does before he competes.
Henzo?
Is it Henzo?
No.
Who was it? Is it Gracie?
You're talking about you're talking about Kron's dead. Why am I failing here?
The Hoyler?
No. The Gracie. Hickson. There you go.
Hickson, that's what I meant to say.
Come on. So it's Andrew Huberman and Lex Friedman. It was How to Breathe While Running. Is literally what the clip is called on YouTube. So, yeah, he's a neuroscientist at Stanford, and I think Lex Friedman is in automation or robotics or something like that. So he's also a BJJ guy recently. So give it a shot. 2 inhales, exhale. But they did say that once you enter a full sprint mode, any sort of like cognition-based breathing techniques probably just going to wear you out more. So just breathe.
So that's more like for jogging then.
Yep. It's once you develop a decent rhythm and a decent cadence, then you initiate. 2 inhales and an exhale. Depending
Gotcha.
how fast you're going, you can exhale out the mouth. But if you're just chilling, exhale out the nose. Yeah.
I'll have to try that this week.
It's a 5-minute clip. It's pretty interesting. Give it a little whirl. Because it's getting warmer out. Running might start happening. So
Throw it in the
yeah,
chat
there it
there.
is.
Yeah, dude. It's been beautiful down here. It's been like close to 70 pretty much every day. It's
That's what's
perfect.
Oh yeah.
It was like 50 something yesterday here.
It's pretty nice.
But people are out. People are out and about doing stuff now for sure in the semi post COVID world.
Right. The vaccines, I think just this week, Ray in the chat, if you're there and available to type, what's the latest? I think they opened it up to 50 and up. I know it's probably different in every state, but in Ohio, I think they opened it up to people age 50 and up can now schedule an appointment to go get the vaccine.
Well,
so that should be a huge...
yeah. Well, and they have projected dates for everyone to sign up, I believe.
Do they?
At the beginning of next month. Jacqueline would be able to chime in there with, because she follows this pretty closely.
50 and above starting last Wednesday. Cool.
Michigan will be 50 on March 22nd. Okay.
Nice.
We just went into like the what is it, group 3 essential workers.
Yeah, I need to.
So I just applied for mine.
I was gonna say I think hello. I think I lost my microphone.
No,
I hear you.
Yeah, I don't think they can hear me on there. Can you guys hear me in the chat? Hello.
Yeah, I just heard it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe Streamlabs is messing up here because I can see audio levels in front of me and it's showing me nothing for whatever.
Nope, you're good.
If they can hear, it's all good.
Yeah, they can hear you. Yeah.
For sure.
All right.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we were looking at Jacqueline was pulling up the numbers while we were going for a drive yesterday, and yeah, we might be approaching a we're definitely in a post-peak world at this point.
Right.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, no shit.
But yeah, people are out. Stores are packed even.
Yep.
It's kind of weird. Yeah,
all
plateaued.
Because the government wants to get us microchipped.
Yeah, spring break for sure.
But they're chipping you. Which is, oh man, you know what? Not even worth.
But the COVID stuff leads into the topic well.
Yeah, so actually, that was one of the first things that I thought of when we're talking about the topic of, hey, how would you live? What would you do if you knew you had 1 year to live? And one of the first things that came to my head was there are people in that situation.
Yeah.
That spent their last bit of time isolated because maybe they're an older person in a nursing home that's sick or whatever it is. I mean, you apply all sorts of situations and you don't have family together. You can't travel. You can't, I think everybody kind of thinks of the bucket list, right? And you can't do really any of that. So people went through, I mean, I don't want to spend this whole time on that, but that was one of the first things that came to my head, that people had to deal with that in 2020.
Right.
No, that's real for sure. And definitely worth saying aloud.
Yeah.
Because you should start any type of conversation like this with a bit of perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
One of my coworkers, she's I think she's close to 60, but one of her good friends that lives in her neighborhood, she was just telling me this like Thursday or Friday. She said he had like a pre-existing condition. I forget exactly what it was, but when he got COVID, he like really went downhill, and he was going downhill for like 6 months. And from the time he got COVID to the time he died recently, he had no contact with his family. Like there was always like a pane of glass or something in there, but he couldn't like hug his family one last time, and that to me was like, holy shit, dude, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Because I don't know,
Well, it's
it
weird
just
too
seems like such a
because
waste.
because it's probably, I mean, I know it's a new situation, but hopefully we're learning ways to do better next time, because if you're going to have a poor prognosis of any kind, your mind is just as important as your body at that point.
Yeah.
So if you're going, if you are isolated and you don't handle isolation well, like most of us don't, it's actually going to increase the chance of you expiring.
Hmm.
So there were probably a lot of avoidable deaths. You know, obviously we didn't have the infrastructure in place, but it's time to start doing that.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Because
Yeah.
something like this probably will happen again whenever it happens again. It's going to happen again. And the clear thing is that we were woefully unprepared.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And speaking of the topic, Jordan, hold on. I was thinking when we made this a topic, it's like we're using this as like a means of conversation and self-reflection, but for a lot of people, it's just a reality. Like one day you think you're fine, and then you wake up feeling ill the next morning, and you go to the doctor and you find out, stage 4 cancer, something
Right.
like that. You know, so.
Yeah, for
Bear
sure.
witness.
Mhm.
For sure. So it's still happening. Italy is in another lockdown. Stay vigilant.
Vigilant.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we were never really vigilant here, though. It didn't seem.
No.
Definitely
So that's
not
probably another reason why we're
collectively.
plateauing.
Yeah.
Is we should be continuously on a downward trend, but people see numbers dropping, people hear or see the sun's out, and they're like, "Oh, we're all good then,
Yep.
so we can go out."
We're all good.
Yep.
So we're not quite there, but we're at least maybe approaching it. So
Yeah.
yes, some people are. Yes, Jacqueline
So
and I haven't been to a restaurant in a year.
Yeah, for sure. I barely left the house.
yeah.
Yep. So does anyone have anything they'd like to start off with? Do you have a direct thing? How would you live if you had a year to live? What would you
Yeah.
do?
I mean, obviously I wrote down like some of the obvious ones, like spending more time with family, um, possibly even like moving next door to a family member or something like that, just having that constant contact. But one that I really thought about for a while is putting all of my thoughts and everything that I've been keeping to myself, and like how I think on a daily basis, write all of that down, you
Hmm.
know? Because I feel like if if somebody like one of my grandchildren or children or whatever, if they feel kind of cheated out of a relationship with me, maybe they can look at this memoir, whatever that I wrote, and feel some sort of real connection. Kind of take a dive into my mind.
That's interesting.
So
I don't know if I've ever heard that before, because
Yeah.
probably should be something that people do. uh,
yeah,
I mean, I was semi-raised by my grandma, and my daughter never got to meet her. So, I mean, it would have been interesting to have some direct handwriting, even
yeah,
to look at, because it's also different. Even if you did the same thing, but then you typed it out, it would be different, right?
yeah. No, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely written out. That way, you have that like physical interaction. Like this person that I miss wrote all of this. This is their ink. I can still wipe it.
Hmm. That's
Yeah,
a good idea.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Although, you wouldn't be able to do it in cursive because they don't teach the kids cursive.
True that.
Mhm.
Well,
It's true.
they
No, it's a
they
good
wouldn't be
idea.
able
I
to
like
read
that.
my handwriting anyway, so
No.
So you'd have to type yours.
Well, and Jordan would still be reading.
Jesus.
So.
Poor Jordan.
Wow. Yes,
Poor
So-
us. Have you ever had to sit there and listen to him while he reads?
No, I haven't. I didn't even think Jordan can read. He's never read anything in front of me.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're not
I
very
li-
good at this.
I like that idea.
I like that. Yeah.
That's almost worth doing anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
essentially, it's kind of like a diary, you know, like you're writing down how you're feeling at different stages of your life, except you know you don't have an expiration date yet. So
Yeah.
Yep. So writing anyway, but for sure though, the having a clear date of expiration
mhm.
changes the drive to do it.
Yeah, and the
frankly,
intent.
the meaning.
Right.
Yeah.
Sums up who you are as a person. Very thoughtful and thinking of others. Well, that's pretty unlike Alex, but people look
Garbage.
for connection with ancestors and sometimes feeling isolated or different in your family. Yeah, it's a real thing. And maybe knowing a grandparent or a great grandparent was similar to you feels good. Hey, that's actually a good point. There's
Yeah.
always a black sheep, or you're not like your siblings, you're not like your parents, and then you find out that you were just like your grandpa or something like that.
Yeah.
Even just the human element, even
Right.
if you wrote something as simple as "Today I was sad," is enough to go. I've had a sad day.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that you
And
know,
Exactly.
normalize it.
that's actually
yeah.
a good point and something that. So, John, you and Jacqueline have kind of been the only two truly non-sugar-coated and honest representations of new parenthood that Ray and I could kind of relate to and talk to, right? Because everything gets sugar-coated, and everybody tells you it's the great, as soon as they're born, it's the greatest moment of your life, and you're instantly changed, this, that, and the other. And for a lot of people, myself included, that's not the reality. The relationship with your child is one that builds, and it wasn't this.
Mhm.
You know, there's an immediate, you know, connection there. There's obviously there's something biological happening, and your body, you know, your brain understands that, but it's not this immediate. This is the most important person you've ever met. You feel this crazy love for. Maybe some people do have that experience, and that's great, but that's not the reality for a lot of people. And when you're constantly told those things and you're not told that other people have that other experience, you kind of
Right.
feel like, do I not love this kid? Am I going to be a shitty parent? Am I going to have
Yeah.
to fake like my love for this kid? Are they going to not feel that I care about him? And I mean, it changes and grows for sure over time as you spend time with them and whatnot. But that's something that Ray, especially as a new mom, because a mother absolutely goes through much more of an emotional roller coaster than the dad does. But she kind of would read these different parenting or mom groups online where they're sharing their experience, and just knowing that, oh, someone else feels really guilty all the time too, or someone else, you know, constantly what's the word, they judge themselves, they constantly think that they're not good enough, or they worry about this, that, or the other, or they don't feel this, that, or the other. And to know that that's, you know, it kind of it's relatable, and it makes you feel okay. And yeah, that's something.
Imposter syndrome with parenthood is incredibly easy to get into.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a hard thing to wrap your head around, because yeah, it's great. I mean, having Iris is wonderful, but it's not all wonderful. You know,
Yeah.
there are a lot of challenges. There are a lot of difficulties, physically, mentally, on your relationship.
Yeah.
You know,
None of that's talked about. It's just
it's
like you said, they
not.
say, "Oh,
Mhm.
it's gonna be a great day," and then, okay, what happens when that day ends, though?
Yeah.
There's, like there's nothing even about how, like you just said, it's gonna affect your marriage or just your physiology, and then your physiology is gonna affect your marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm exclusively talking about the fact that my daughter didn't sleep for the first 18 months of her life, essentially, didn't sleep through the night. And yeah, I remember just having awful arguments. And we both knew that they were baseless, but we're just like, we're both exhausted
Yeah.
Yeah.
and this is what's happening.
You're not your same self. There's no question
Mhm.
about it. And something that I kind of have dealt with that, Ray and I have had to talk about is if she would, whatever, poke at me for something about me or something that I'm doing, I'm not ever going to really react to it. I'm going to, hear it. Right. I'll try and adjust my behavior accordingly if something, need
Little
be.
slap, slap.
Yeah. Right. Um, but when it came to anything to do with Iris, I wasn't able to just back, roll with the punches and move on. My level of
Mhm.
sensitivity when it came to her was way up, so that was a
It's like
challenge
you had
that
a guacamole sandwich.
I was just about to say that even more sensitive than eating an avocado.
yes, even more sensitive than that. But that was you know, that's something that you have to deal with because if you're not mindful of that going on and you don't have that conversation with your partner to say, "Hey, I realize that maybe I'm not doing things the way you want it to be done, but
Mhm.
the delivery of the information has to change because I'm not able to accept what you're saying, especially in the moment, because I'm my brain's taking it like you don't think I can do this or I'm not good enough as a parent, right, to
Mhm.
handle this situation. And obviously that's not the intention, but my brain wasn't able to do that.
But just imagine if
Well,
you, like, even once a day, wrote down something super simple, like kept a log of, as a parent, as a new parent, kind of the progression and regression
Right.
of your moods and your relationship. Imagine
Yes.
if you just wrote down one thing a day, like, today Ray and I had a huge fight.
Right.
It was really trying in our relationship,
And it
but
was
tomorrow we'll,
over nothing.
right, over nothing. And
Right.
then you take that book filled with, I don't know, 10 years of this kid's life, and then when that kid
Yes.
is a parent, you can be like, here, this is, like, if you're struggling with something, if you feel like you're not doing something right in your relationship, look at this and see that other people go through the same thing,
Yeah, I think that would be
and very,
incredibly
very real situations.
right.
well, and the fact that it was so obvious to it's already just, basically you're talking about the end of life and the beginning of life. I mean, in
Mhm.
these two situations,
Yeah.
but the overall idea is just if people would just be honest with themselves and each other,
Yeah.
things would just be easier.
Well, 100%. I mean, luckily, so a couple things in chat real quick. Ray said, just to be clear, love Iris more than anything in the world, but parenthood is very romanticized. That, yeah, without question. Working through those tough things can break you or bring you closer. Absolutely. And right, while you're in the thick of it, it can go either way. And if you don't have that strong communication, I can absolutely see a relationship that maybe is a little newer or whatever. You've been together a long time, but you haven't had something try your relationship like that, so you've never had to deal with this sort of communication. I
Mhm.
can absolutely see it just spiraling out of control, and you just are now living in a toxic environment. 100%. I can
Yeah.
see that. So luckily, it's not my reality. We were able to have that conversation, and it was received on both ends, and it's a two-way thing. But yeah, that's a challenging thing, and that's a interesting. Your log of your parents' experience would be. I can't imagine reading what it would have been like, John, for our parents raising us. For anybody that may listen, I think I've seen my parents get along 3 times, maybe 4. That would be
Mhm.
John's graduation from high school, my graduation from high school, and when our grandma died. Those are the three that can come to my head about them like getting along.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, it's short lived. It might last 24 hours. You know?
Right.
So it would have been interesting to read what that experience was.
This goes with all things in life. People don't talk about the hardships of things because they don't want to complain or feel people will understand. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one of the main problems with human psychology in a nutshell is every single one of these things, insecurities, loneliness, joy, in maybe inopportune times or anything positive, negative,
Mm-hmm.
they all feel like they're happening on an island. They're not.
Right.
I mean, that's it's such a cliche. You're not alone, right? But you're not. And every one of these people, every person around you is going through, has their own story and has all of their own little hardships, and is is just as mad at the traffic as you are, and
Yeah. Right.
Right.
can't find the right song on the radio, or it's all that stuff. So again, if you had a log, if you did, you told you have a year left to live, right? And you start writing down, you're just going to normalize a human life for someone else because the goal is
Right.
to give it to someone else,
Right. Right. Huh.
and that's
The
all it
the
is.
the reason I
Normalize
thought
it.
about hold on. The reason I thought about that is because at least for the past 2 years, I've been keeping a pretty decent music collection, like physical media, and I'll put like little notes in them. Like if I listen to an album particularly a lot, or if I go to it for a certain thing, I'll put a note in it. Like I was listening
Listen
to
to
this.
this when you're eating peanut butter.
Right. Like there's one I have, and it's like I was listening to this album almost every day when I met your mom. So I'm kind of trying to leave
Mm.
like a
You wrote that down?
yeah, and then you put the little note like
Hmm.
inside the record. So like if we have kids and they ever get my collection, when they pull it out, they'll be like, "Oh, dad wrote this," like
It's like a
and
memento.
yeah.
That's really,
Yeah.
man. These are just things to do. This isn't a year
I'm gonna
left to
start.
live.
I'm gonna start just scattering notes throughout the house, like post-it notes. This is where Dad sits.
Right. Yeah, put a big sticky note. Yeah.
You weren't supposed to find that yet.
Right.
That's one positive I've seen with social media, the sense of community and anything you may struggle with. That's true. It definitely goes both ways, because you also then, you're constantly judging yourself based on other people's experiences, which can be negative of social media. But yeah,
Mhm.
you certainly can find those groups, as I alluded to earlier, with the mom groups, and sharing that experience as a positive.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
the inverse of, the Instagram stereotype is if people were just willing to be vulnerable on Facebook or what have you, it would be an incredibly positive thing for the
Right.
world.
Yeah.
Those same technologies could switch in a day in terms of their impact on human psychology if
Yeah.
people would just be honest and cut the nonsense and stop,
Mhm.
because it's easy to get into a feedback loop one way or the other. So if you just start making a good feedback loop, people would hop on for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the nitty gritty of pregnancy and labor and giving birth. Yeah. No, it's, talking to you guys about your kind of real experience, and the honesty was helpful, because um, I was able to relate to you, especially John. We've had that conversation of just that closeness, right? And it builds over time. It was not something, and even Jacqueline said she felt the same thing. So
Mhm.
something that I could have easily gotten in my head about and been very stressed out and concerned on a regular basis,
Yep.
having not had that, those conversations with you.
Yeah, early on it was almost all just about, the only role I felt was just protect. That was it.
Yeah,
Like, that came
keeping.
immediately.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, there was not like an instant
Yeah.
overwhelming joy or love or anything like that. Because it was also prefaced with 2 days of not sleeping straight, essentially.
Mhm.
So I wasn't
Right.
even prepared for the moment. But yeah, I mean, she came out, her nose was a little flat. My first comment was like, "What's up with her nose? Is she okay?"
Right.
Not
Right.
like, "Oh, this is the most beautiful gift." No, it was, "Is this thing okay?
Yeah.
Is this normal?"
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I
Part of human psychology is putting on rose-colored glasses.
rosy retrospect.
For sure. Well, and that's almost certainly exists specifically with pregnancy. It's such a traumatic experience, especially for
Mhm.
women, that if they didn't have a mechanism or modules in their brain to somehow look back on the moment and view it as just overwhelmingly positive, why else would you do it again?
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Women would
women
never
would
have
never have.
2 kids. That's it.
Yes.
It's true.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, it's because it's also just a much messier process than you'd expect, just physiologically. I
Yeah.
mean, there's just some things that can happen that you don't just read about or hear about.
Yeah. Drugs help.
That's also true.
No, that experience. Um.
I'm gonna grab a coffee real quick, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never been more. I think I have PTSD from it. Ray and I were having a conversation recently about, you know,
Mhm.
planning and trying for the next one and what that timeline looks like. And dude, I've never been more overwhelmed in my life, and I was doing nothing. I was doing nothing. I
Yeah.
was just an observer.
Sitting,
Yep.
listening. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Mm.
crazy. But yeah, dude, that's a really cool idea. I think that's that's probably this thought experiment. Really isn't to point out like, oh, how would you actually live your last year? I mean, that's kind of the paces we're going through. But I guess the purpose of
Yeah.
the thought experiment is it points out what's important to you,
Mhm.
and what some things that maybe some behaviors you can change. I think that's a really cool idea. Leaving notes like with the records and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
like the first one that came to my head is the um, Childish Gambino album
Mhm.
with Ray and I listened to that on our honeymoon driving to Maine. And
Yeah.
every time I hear that album now, I'm instantly brought back to that. So that's
Yeah.
like the first thing that came to my head with
Yeah.
that
That's
experiment.
what's so powerful about it, because somebody can go back and look, like one of your kids or grandkids, and they can kind of follow a like a breadcrumb trail.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, it's really cool. I would not
Yeah.
get a puppy. Hey man, Asher's a good boy. He'll get there. Although
Asher.
we need to do some training with Arya there. But Asher's a good pup. He's a cute boy. I probably wouldn't get 3 puppies at once. That's probably something I wouldn't have done. But
Yeah,
But you
you write that
did.
little note to yourself.
yeah, right. That's the note.
Hey, hey, granddaughter, grandson,
Right,
never buy 3 dogs at a time.
right,
In an
right.
apartment.
Yeah, while you're a broke college student.
That's
Right.
Don't put
that's
more
also true.
pounds of dog in your home than human when you can't afford the human pounds.
Right.
Wow.
yeah.
So true. That's a
In,
good note.
insightful.
That's like a fortune cookie.
Right, right.
Could you imagine if you opened
Dude,
that
that would
cookie?
be I opened my first fortune cookie recently, like in the last couple weeks, that had no fortune in it. I was like, oh, what's that saying? Huh? Just
Well, it just means that the world is your oyster.
oh. The
Or that
All
fortunes.
fortunes
the
are now
factory just
yours.
forgot to put it in.
I make my own fortune. Fortune is
Yeah, the
wide
future's wide
open. Oh,
open. Exactly.
future. I'm reading
The
small.
fortune.
I'm reading small text. I swear I can read.
But
No, I like
that's
that though.
interesting that you guys both kind of said the same thing about when baby first came out, it's like you don't feel this overwhelming, immediate, like connection, the sense
Yeah.
of like huge, overwhelming love. Because
Yes.
I mean, everybody always says like when that happens, it's life changing.
Yes.
It's which it is. I'm sure that
Even
experience is
that,
life changing.
honestly, even that doesn't seem right.
No.
Like right when it comes out, it's not hitting you like that. You have to take it
Yeah,
home
you
with
have
you.
you have no
None of that's
no
happening.
no. You're not grasping the reality of what's happening because you
Mm-mm.
don't know it yet.
Right.
You don't
Right.
know
Yeah,
it
you're
yet.
like, okay, that moment this is a different moment. I've never seen this before, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
no way you could grasp what's happening for sure. Yeah, for sure. Jacqueline was confused. One of the it was weird to have Arya call me mom for like 2 years. Yeah,
Yeah, like that's a thing. It's a weird.
I remember when Jacqueline was given Arya, like right afterwards. Jacqueline's face was just utter confusion for sure. Like, this it can't be mine. It was not like, oh,
Yeah, right.
everything is so much better in the
Right.
world. Oh,
Like the end of a
no,
Hallmark movie. Yeah.
Simba.
no, yeah, none of that. It could have been Simba, like, oh, you can have it. Like that's.
Right.
I was more toward that than the other for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not like that. Definitely
Hmm.
wasn't for me. So
Interesting.
yeah, I still forget I'm a mom.
To label
Yeah,
it.
for
Yeah.
sure.
No, that is a Alex at your wedding or the ceremony of your wedding, right? When you were in
Mhm.
town, Aubrey's
Yeah.
dad came up to me and said that, my dad obviously has said that to me. Just wait till she's born, the moment that you see her. Aubrey's dad said the same thing to me at that wedding. He was like, just that moment. You'll never. You've never loved anything. You're gonna experience something. I'm like, all right, and then it happens, and then you could instantly. If I didn't, like I said, if I didn't have that real conversation with John,
Yeah.
I would have absolutely because I was already feeling that through the pregnancy because Ray's making, this human with her body. So she has this
Right.
physical connection there. She feels her moving. She feels the changes in her body. So there's at least a physical connection brewing there that I don't have. And throughout the whole pregnancy, I'm like, I don't really feel anything.
Yeah.
And I,
Definitely.
I was absolutely concerned. I had many conversations with Ray about that along the way. But yeah.
And I was just about to touch on Xenomorph's comment. I was literally about to say almost the same thing. Is I feel like so many people hear all these stories about how they should feel during certain events, or when you meet somebody, you wait for like a sign to know if they're the one, or they need this like epiphany to happen in order for them to follow that path. When really that's not life. Epiphanies don't happen. Like
Right.
huge moments that you're supposed to feel something and then you feel let down, that's part of life.
Especially when you're searching for it, you're
Right,
almost
that's
certainly
that's what
not
I'm
going to have it
saying.
happen.
Right.
So it is the we talked. I think we talked about it last week, but the I know I've talked about it with our uncle Dave, or as my daughter calls him, Jesus McRib.
Wow,
Um,
that's an appropriate name.
It is, if you
that
know him.
the previous generation before us did a very bad job at communicating things, just life in
Yeah,
general. And it was
yeah,
like this guiding philosophy that if you just told these positive stories, that people would just kind of like take it and run with it. And it hasn't worked. It's a failed experiment at this point. There's enough to look at
Just got a,
mental health, the
we just
way
got
people.
a follower there. TT Slug.
I can go ahead and
Thanks for the
probably
follow.
assume who that is.
TT
Um,
Slug.
I don't know who TT Slug is.
probably, yep, probably our friend we grew up with.
Oh, what's up, dude?
There it is. I didn't know if you wanted. Yep. So
Welcome, brother.
it's on us to then try the next experiment of just being honest. Let's see what that looks like.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I've had that conversation with Ray. Being honest with almost the taboo things too.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Just because instead of quit telling these stories, that's essentially what you're doing. It's just kind of a fantasy one way or the other.
Mhm.
Just say, hey, this is what happened to me.
Yeah.
Not like you're
I
gonna
feel like
feel
that's
like this
where
because it's,
yeah.
Beauty and the Beast. No.
Mhm.
This is what I felt. And you might feel that, you might not.
Right.
But that's a problem, especially with the, previous generation is the sensitivity just isn't there.
No.
Especially in the men, the ego just gets in the way, and they're kind of afraid to share with other men, especially how they felt during that and how unique the situation was to them,
Right.
you know?
Well, and then I mean, you just run that experiment back another generation. Their experience was a much
Yes,
harder
for
one
sure.
from their parents as well than
For
ours. So
sure.
it's just
Without question.
it's a it's a
This
mold you got
this
to break.
conversation might have only been possible right now.
Right.
Yeah.
But if we decide not to have this conversation and we decide to just carry the torch of fantasy, that's also an option. We could just go, hey, yeah, you're going to have a kid. You're going to love that thing immediately. And, your
Mhm.
marriage is going to be perfectly fine and you're never going to sleep better.
Right.
You could try saying that. And then, like, all three of those things are going to collapse at once. And you're like, am I a bad person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
You're
happens.
going to question yourself. Absolutely. No
Yep.
question.
Wow. And that was a large tangent because you said one thing, Alex.
Yeah. Well, cuz
It
when
was
you
only
went
It's
like 40
worthwhile
minutes.
for sure.
Yeah.
right. When you went to grab your coffee, John, I was kind of like, the whole purpose of this thought experiment isn't necessarily to decide how you would live your actual last year. More so, it's you're through that thought experiment, you're finding out what's important to you and what's
Right.
worthwhile with your time, etc.
What
And
makes you happy?
yeah, I mean, so these are just things you can and should do now. I mean, I absolutely love that log of your life, and a simple one even at that. Like you said, it can just be a one line, a one sentence of the day or
Yeah.
weekly or whatever, and then to leave your breadcrumbs of your life on things. Um,
Like, just
yeah,
imagine as a child or a grandchild getting that book and seeing on some date in 2021, Iris, today was the first day you called me dad, or today
right.
was the first day you said mommy,
Yeah,
and it made me feel overwhelmed with joy. Just those two sentences, they can look back on that. It's like, holy shit, like they really cared, and this is what parenthood is all about.
yeah. There was a cool moment in this same vein. It was actually your grandpa, Alex. Your dad brought over a bunch of old photos and things of his that your dad
Mhm.
has now, and that for Ray and I to kind of look at. And one of the things in there was a letter that your grandfather wrote to his in-laws, a handwritten letter, and
Mhm.
it's a really to your grandma Ruth's parents, right? It's
Yeah.
a really really sweet. It was, yeah, to his father-in-law. It's a really sweet letter, you know, and you, I don't know, you're seeing a side of that person that you otherwise wouldn't, because it's a
Mhm.
very sweet handwritten letter to his in-laws about how, because I think his father-in-law was ill, and he's just talking
Mhm.
about can't wait to for you to feel better, and yeah,
Yeah.
so he was ill. So just well wishes and can't wait to spend time together and with the kids and this, that, and the other. um, but it was a really cool letter to be able to read, and to have that
Right.
you're getting a little bit of you're seeing that person through a lens that you otherwise wouldn't be able to.
Right. And you also essentially have a piece of them because
Right.
they were the ones that chose the paper, chose the pen, wrote everything down, folded it. That's a piece of them. It's a piece of their psyche on paper.
Yeah. People get
So
reduced
yeah, I
down to other
mean
people's
that
memories.
even
And that, yeah.
goes into the vulnerability of the author too is going to
Mhm.
change the impact there because you take that back a couple generations and it goes, today, father-in-law, I'm writing you because I exchanged one cow for your daughter. Right? Like, the grandparent or grandchild might, it's something, but
Right, right,
it's a little
right.
They
different.
definitely wrote this.
Yeah, right.
This explains a lot.
Wow, you were worth one cow?
Yeah, a
That's
whole
a lot.
cow. Yeah, that's great.
The animal meat to human meat ratio comes up
Right.
again.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, thinking about this experiment now, looking at like a realistic lens of it, all of my thoughts went towards, okay, I have 1 year
Mhm.
to do everything possible I can to get Iris set up for
Yeah.
life. You know what I mean? Which
Mhm.
is, and then I started thinking about that and really, what can you do? Because you start to think about financial stability, right? That's going to come into play, and it's like,
Yeah.
all right, well, am I going to spend my last year just like working as much as I can? Um, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, is that what you do? Um, do you try and knock out all these bucket list items? It's going to be, so I don't know, that it's like that's where my brain immediately went, was I have to do everything I can in this year to set Iris up as much as possible. And I don't even really know what that looks like. 'Cause
Yeah.
you try to think about it and it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna.
Agreed. I'm with so Slug first. Can I wait to become a father? Excited for the experience of fatherhood. What were some things that change you didn't expect to change? Yeah, I mean we kind of
Yeah.
before you came in we were talking about that, is that there's it's very romanticized currently and it's not anything. I mean, we could for sure, you have my number, we could talk about this in depth, and same thing with Jordan, but
Mhm.
it's a process and everything changes. But
Yeah.
not necessarily in the ways that you'd expect and have heard about your entire life, and definitely not as on the timeline that they provide to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably like the quickest way to put it. But and I'm with Xenomorph here. No, because family will take care of you. Spend the time. To
Yeah.
be honest, when you were just saying that, I literally didn't even think about Arya in that regard. Like my daughter, in terms of like setting her up, it didn't even occur to me.
Mhm.
I for a second I did what we were just talking about. I was like, am I terrible because I didn't even think of that? But
Right.
I really, yeah, maybe that for sure. But yeah, spend the time. I mean, it also is because I know my wife's kind of a rock star, so it's just like, and we have enough family on either side that
Mhm.
Arya would be fine.
Right.
Kids are resilient, people are resilient in the right circumstances.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's, I mean, when you were saying that, that's what came to me, is that crap. I didn't even think of that.
How do you? All right. So then you spend the time, right? What
Yeah.
does that look like?
Mhm.
Does that mean I quit my job? That means we're
Yes.
homeless.
For sure. Yeah, I would do homeless for a year.
Move in with a
I'm
relative.
not. I'm
I'm
not.
literally not even kidding.
How would you have?
Yeah, what's up?
How would you have? So the wife and daughter with no home.
Yeah. If that was if that what it was, what it would be. I mean, it depends on your job too, obviously. But
Mhm.
if we're just being hypothetical and we're talking about a hypothetical job and what you mean when you say job, for sure. If the three of us would just become nomads for a year, I would take that without a doubt, because it would be an entirely novel experience, and I would just, yeah, maximize time.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
obviously there are other, depending on what your job is, whatever your task is,
What
if
if
you're in the service of others, you could also use that time to help as many people as humanly possible.
I wanna expand. I
But
wanna ask one question, then I wanna catch up on the chat. There's a couple of things in there to definitely talk
for sure,
about.
go back to
But
becoming a parent makes you realize your no longer the most important person. So that is another thing I didn't feel. To
Yeah,
be honest, if
not
I'm
right
just being
away.
honest. No,
Yeah.
I still don't.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
So honest.
Uh, it's not only that, but really early on, not even really early on, might have been within the first 6 months, I stumbled upon this article written by a man to his wife after they gave birth, and it said, "I miss my wife."
Hmm.
It literally didn't even talk about the child. It was just basically a love letter to their previous relationship,
Mm,
and that it was gone and he would like it back.
Huh.
I felt that
that's
for a
really
long
sad.
time. I mean, it's sad, but it's also I thought it was beautiful because
Yeah.
it was the most honest thing I just kind of stumbled upon throughout my entire parenthood research extravaganza that was going on. Um, yeah, it was just incredibly vulnerable, and it struck me as something that was probably worthwhile um, exploring because you're at least. It was like finding one of those mementos.
Hmm.
This guy was at least obviously I didn't agree with everything he was saying, but there were points in there where I was like, yeah, I completely am on board with that idea because it does for I mean that's one thing you feel immediately. Your relationship with your partner is going to change. That's going to be what changes immediately.
Yeah.
Instantaneously it's different.
Yeah.
And whether or not you can adapt to that or they can adapt to it, because if we're talking male female, if you're talking about biological child like Jordan was talking about, the woman who's growing the child is going to have a greater connection to that child right off the jump than you are. At least that's the experience I had.
Yeah.
And when it says becoming a parent makes you realize you're no longer the most important person, my wife got there way faster than I did, and I became the third wheel in the house, which is kind of what the love letter to their previous relationship was about.
Yeah.
It was this guy struggling with that reality, and he was struggling with it so much that had to write it down.
That's interesting because I can say I had that same experience when it comes to the events taking place, but not the same perspective that you had. So
Hmm.
Ray and I's relationship, we're approaching 12 years together in April. So for 11 of those, um, it was very clear that more than anything, she wanted to be a mom. Well, I'll say
Hmm.
10 and a half of those because there was definitely a period in time when that was discussed. But so seeing that reality kind of happen, I absolutely, she had the connection to Iris. It's definitely just different. It's not possible. I don't think it's. I mean, maybe it is, but I don't really think it's possible for a male to feel the same things that the mother is feeling.
Yeah.
But my perspective on it was that whole third wheel situation. I I thought my biggest fear
Hormones.
with going into parenthood was that I would miss the previous life, right? Is that I would have some sort of regret or that I would constantly beseech, my previous life with Ray. And very thankfully, I don't have that experience. And when I'm that third wheel, which I don't know if that's the way I would word it for myself, but when I look at Ray with Iris, it's only good feelings for me because
Hmm.
I'm seeing the person that I love and have loved the most fulfilling everything she's ever wanted, basically.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't know, it's a different perspective. I was afraid that, I would have that experience and I would be whatever, right? You just think like you just want some free time. And of course, I mean, anecdotally, you want a freaking couple hours of silence. You want to go on a date. You want those things, but
Hmm.
you don't. I don't want like my previous life. I don't sit there ever and think about that, which I feel very happy about. So I guess that's kind of my perspective on that situation. But it's the
Well,
same.
yeah, and it's always pockets, right? Pockets of current life versus previous life, which is what that he was writing about, but it was largely, yeah, um, how the dynamics in their relationship had shifted.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question
Yeah.
it does change. It
Yeah.
absolutely does. It's impossible. There's at the very bare minimum, there is something you now are collectively keeping alive at all times in your house. So
Yeah.
that's changing every moment of your day in some way.
Yeah.
And I
I
think if we
feel
were gonna, yeah, keep going, you can go.
I feel like, Jordan, what you were just saying a minute ago, that can almost be applied to any relationship, whether it's like a sad outcome or a positive outcome. Like imagine you're friends with somebody for 10, 15 years and they move away or they move to another country to start a like their dream career or something. Like you're extremely overwhelmed with happiness for them that they're doing something that they've always wanted to do, but at the same time you can't help but think about the times that you had together before said thing happened. Now,
Yeah.
whether or not that's sad or not, that's up to the individual. But I think that um, that idea can be applied to any sort of relationship that changes drastically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, I think the marriage or partnership or what have you is just, yeah, it can be both, but it's also because he was there and he was not planning on going anywhere.
Hmm.
So he was just trying to adapt to his new life, essentially. Like,
Right.
this is what's happening, and all these people, all the parts are still the same, but I don't fit into the picture the same way.
Did he in that
Hmm.
letter? I'm kind of running the experiment in my head. Did he in the letter ever state how far along in their relationship the child came? Were they
Probably. I think
one?
early on. I mean, it was a well written. I don't remember it. It's a while ago, but
I can absolutely see that happening if you are not ready for the kid.
Yeah.
If one person isn't ready mentally, or you're collectively not ready. I know everybody says you're never financially ready. Again, I think that that's misleading. There's definitely a different level of, are you struggling to pay your bills or aren't you? you know,
Hmm.
um, so are you in a place where you kind of collectively have decided, yes, this is what we want and this is the time we want it, and both on the same page? If that's not the case, I could absolutely see one person either way, because I know there's definitely there's you know men at work that I've talked to where it was more on the man pushing to have a kid than the woman, right? So maybe
Yeah.
their wife or their partner or whatever um, wasn't as mentally ready, but was doing it because whatever, not, I don't want to say pressure, but whatever the reason, right? One person
Hmm.
isn't as ready as the other. I could totally see that spiraling into this, you know, wanting what you had before. But yeah, I guess that would be something I would want to know from that
Hmm.
letter. I'd be curious
Yeah.
yeah, I'll try to find it this week.
for
Like I
sure.
said, it would have been like 7 years at this point.
Yeah, a couple of things catching up on chat there. Nice shirt, John. Yeah, anybody wants a fantastically soft and well designed T-shirt? Hit up
Durable too.
TT Slug.
Good plug.
Yep,
Good plug.
good plug.
Yeah, I've
Advance.
worn this thing. I mean, this was like a prototype one, but I've worn this thing to work around heavy machinery for years, and it's all good. So I've worked out in it. I've rolled in it, grappled. So
So it
for sure.
stinks, dude. That is a smelly shirt.
Yes, and for people that work out and grapple, you must wash your clothes immediately after the workout.
Don't let that sit there.
after you wash, it's got to go in the dryer immediately. You got to be on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise,
No
it's
one
ruined.
wants to smell
Nope.
your sweat from the week or the
Mhm.
day.
Yep.
Nothing is worse than a stinky gi. There's nothing in the world.
No, it's
It's disgusting.
stinky gloves might be.
The gis, well, because the gi, they're smashing in your face,
That's
right?
true.
So
That's true.
Advance is relaunching soon. There you go.
Nice, dude.
See, and it reflects on everything around you. It's like, no one wants to be the stinky gi person.
Right.
So just don't be that. Work out, wash your stuff, and dry it immediately after.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway, PSA.
This is bugging me.
Good advice.
The homeless thing though, I kind of wanted to circle back to a little bit because you got way too many people around you. You wouldn't be bomeless.
Yeah, we wouldn't. Yeah, unfortunately, that would not be a problem we would have to
Yes.
actually deal with.
Yeah, I don't know. What if you did that nomad decision? You made that as your choice, and it ended up just being nothing but stressful constantly because Jacqueline and Arya had no roots, and nobody was actually in a good mood for your last year. What if that's how it went?
Well, I would have to find a way to redirect that energy, channel it towards something positive, toward growth.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if it's obviously wouldn't be that type of situation where it is just purely black and white, but if it is, I
Right.
choose that, then you have to make the best of your situation, period.
Mm-hmm.
But again, fortunately, that's not just as it's being touched on where homelessness is a very humbling experience. It's no joke for sure. And I can't grasp that, and I wouldn't have to. That's the nice thing. So that's why my daughter didn't even occur to me in terms of like her well-being and her health, as I am no longer in the picture, because she'd be fine.
Yeah.
Her jujitsu would probably suffer, but
Nah, dude, I'll get her in there.
but other than that, she'll be fine. You just don't know, Mad.
One does not simply nomad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I thought about this, obviously the first thing is travel. You're thinking of stuff like that, but I don't even know if I would do any of those things.
Same.
To be honest,
I thought about the bucket list, and I kind of, first off, I don't really have one.
nope.
So
Like if I just right here, live on camera, keeled over and died, I'd be pretty fine with that.
Well, you wouldn't know because you'd be dead.
you'd be
For sure, that would also help. But I'm saying,
by
in
fine, you
terms
mean
of,
with your life experience and the
Yeah.
decisions you've made.
well, obviously I wouldn't be fine, but I would be
You'd be
fine.
gone.
I would.
He's just weekend at Bernie's. No, he's all right. He's all right.
Yeah,
No, he's good.
I feel like I came to terms with that a long time ago. I don't know what it is about me, but it's at any point in time, I've got nothing to accomplish, like no overarching mission. I need to save X amount of money, or I need to have a house of this kind, or I don't have any goals like that. I'd like to get another black belt in jiu-jitsu, so that would kind of be a bummer, but again, everyone around me is solid.
Jesus, that's so dark. Prop him up
This
in
is
the corner
Dad,
with
literally.
a post-it note. This is Dad, literally.
Like, get him stuffed.
Oh my
You're right.
God.
We taxidermied your father.
Yo, somebody just made an actual guitar out of their dead uncle's rib cage. That's the most metal guitar.
That's too much.
No, it's too much. It's terrible. It's a terrible
I'll be
idea.
right back.
But yeah, so I don't know if I would do none of those things. So travel's not a thing.
That resonates with me. I feel that. Yeah,
I would chill. I would try to just positively impact the people around me. I feel like I said, everyone around me is kind of set up nicely. I've hopefully given off that vibe and that energy as I was here, and I would try to obviously amp that up if I had to specific timeline.
Right. Hey, another follower.
Hey,
Florida.
thank you.
FL Turf guy. Florida Turf guy. Is that what that is? Welcome. Thanks for the follow.
Do we know you? Yay, nay, if you're in the chat, do we know you?
FL Turf
If
guy.
not, regardless, what's up? Yeah, hopefully I've done that. Obviously, like I said, I would amp it up if I had a specific timeline. I
Yep.
would try to just impact as many people as I could, because I'd like to say if I know you and I'm around you, I'm hopefully pushing you in the right direction.
Yeah, you don't really play a passive role in your relationships with people.
No, you're gonna feel my gravity one way or the other, and whether or not you like it, that's something else. But yeah, I'm not just like around and people are like, I forgot about him. No, it's not gonna happen.
Right. We got another follower while you were gone, Alex. FL Turf guy
Hey,
is
nice.
here. Flaturf guy. Flaturf.
Flaturf?
Flaturf.
It's funny. That was my mom's name.
It was.
Staren? Yeah,
Can also throw it in chat like while we're talking. If you guys have any ideas, something.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody,
what would you do?
Anybody listening, other than apparently Xenomorph would take John's corpse and prop it up in the corner for Arya to remember him by.
Which is very funny.
Hilariously funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
But
that's where my notebook could go with my handwriting. Hi, Dad.
Oh
and then
my
like
God.
instead of eyeballs, it's like a projector screen,
Oh,
and then you can turn it on,
and
like through the eyes on the wall, it'll project like your last memories.
It plays
with Arya.
home videos of your life.
In that like
Jesus.
off yellow flickering. You're like, wait, he had good cameras. Like, he wasn't around for that. Why does it look like?
Oh no, we put a film reel in his head.
Yeah, that's intentional.
It's just an Instagram filter.
We replaced his intestines with a reel.
Right? Yeah, it's just a big reel.
It's a gearbox.
Oh, yeah, man. you have to crank it up, shove it in his ear, and crank it up.
Black and white.
It's in black and white.
Sepia.
Right. How old was Dad?
Right. Wait, what?
Right. Oh, he was 102. Oh, he looked great for his age.
Weird.
What was the war like,
dude?
The Great War.
Oh my God. That was one of the funniest things. Alex, I don't remember what relative you said it to, but somebody was like, it had to be a grandparent. I'm just by guessing it had to be your Grandma Ruth talking about like dating a man. And you were like, oh, you could talk to him because he's lived through all the wars.
Right.
That is true.
What were all of them like?
All of them.
Xenomorph. But the World of Warcraft. Let me start from the beginning.
Yeah.
There was the Alliance and the Horde.
The drums of war thunder once again.
Nerds.
Now your father was one of the best warriors on Shattered Hand server.
My God.
Tales are that he slayed his enemies by the tens.
Wow.
Tens. Oh jeez.
Yeah, that's something to be proud of.
If I had 1 year, if I had 1 year left to live, I would get Grand Marshal in vanilla. Wow.
Your father defeated Calamity Ganon on his first try in Breath of the Wild. Now, not many people can say that.
Or know what it is.
Alex is very uncomfortable with this conversation. This is bleep bloop.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what any of this means. This is like talking sports around me.
That's kind of funny to think about. Like modern people, assuming there's no World War III, their great tales are going to be virtual.
Yeah. Even the warriors in World War III will be largely virtual.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. No, that's...
Well, I created a paladin.
Well, that's the old Fight Club thing,
and I decided to take on the... Yeah.
We have... our generation has no...
rogue.
has no Great Depression, no Great War.
Fight Club, man.
Yeah. It's a
I
great
think about it all
movie.
the
Wow.
time. We're the
Great.
middle children of history,
Right.
for
I
sure.
forgot how hard you guys can nerd out. I forgot about that for
This
like a
I
is-
hardly
second.
even got into
Yeah, I
it.
would say this is
I know.
very
No, I
mild.
know. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So Alex,
That's-
what you feel when we were down in Florida around the campfire over at his name. I can't think of his name
Oh,
right now.
TJ.
Over at TJ's house, and you guys were all mechanic. All of them are car guys, and if you
Yeah.
don't know anything about cars,
Murmur carburetor.
dude, they're all talking about their what they're doing to their cars and how you're fixing that and what parts they're gonna get and
Nitrous oxide, brother.
Yep, that's all we
Dude,
say.
that's it.
Carburetor, nitrous oxide carburetor.
Is it true, TT Slug? You can also probably chime in on this. Is it true that if you add racing stripes to your car, it adds horsepower to it?
15
Okay.
horsepower per stripe.
Yeah. It adds some real Chad energy, right?
Yeah.
Do you say Chad energy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chad, bro.
What does
No-
a spoiler do?
A spoiler makes you go turbo.
As Alex said, 15 horsepower. That's it. Well, at least
It
it's
makes
a
you go
collective answer.
turbo.
Here you go, folks. Put stripes on your car.
The more you know.
Goes faster.
Yeah. If
Does that
anything,
go
it makes your
over-
car slower.
By that much
Yeah.
more weight being added to the vehicle.
Well, and drag. Aerodynamics you're messing with.
Drag from the paint.
Spoiler helps the air collection into the turbo system, which that could be absolute garbage, but I don't even know if he's telling the truth.
Jordan's like,
No.
does every car have a turbo system?
What is a turbo?
This came up, dude. This came up at work Friday.
Ego weight.
Ego weight. No, it was all right. Thursday. People were just talking about their hobbies and what kind of they're personally skilled at or whatever. It was just a random conversation, and
Yeah.
one of them was talking about. He's like, yeah, I can work on cars really well, and I've like built a house with my dad, so I've done like these sorts of interesting things. And
Nice.
one of the other guys was like, because I was like, I'm useless under the hood of a car, and one of the other dudes there was like, I could be like, oh, that's an engine, and I was like, you could probably fool me. You probably could. I bet if you arrange certain parts together,
You could just bullshit you.
You could probably fool me that
Yep.
it's an engine or not. So
You literally lift up the hood of a car, take the engine out, put a gas can in there, shut it.
Right.
Hey, Jordan,
Oh.
what is this?
this is how the cars work, huh? Just gas in the hood.
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
Plastic
Just
now.
gas in the hood. Yep.
It's just
you just
Legos. Yeah.
Do you just 3D print it? Yeah. Is that the flux capacitor?
That's it. How many gigawatts of power or gigawatts
This
is what
is
they call me?
gigawatt.
Gigawatts. Yeah.
That's Jay-Z's version.
Jay-Z.
1 gigawatt.
1 gigawatt of power, dude. Keeping the New York rap game alive on 1 gigawatt of power.
It's awesome.
Dude,
I'm surprised that line hasn't come up.
houses are now being 3D printed.
How?
Yeah. What do you mean?
How-
Flux capacitor, man.
Oh, right. Spoilers.
Yeah. Spoiler, you put 15 horsepower of stripe on a 3D printer and now it can make a house.
Wow, I did not know that. I'm pretty
Basic
far
science.
behind.
Basic science.
Basic. I mean, that's fundamentals.
Yeah, where do you store the printer?
Yeah.
So in terms of people talking about their skills and whatnot, this came up because I was around newer people recently, and this is the funniest thing. When you're around people that don't know the martial arts world or the fighting world, this is always what happens. I was asked this question. Hey, can you beat up a monk?
What?
Who says that?
Why would you?
You beat him? Well, because if you're not in the martial arts world, what is the first thing you think about? Probably like a Shaolin monk.
A monk?
And then, but they're also like superhuman, right? To the average person. So they were like, could you beat up a monk? And so then I started getting into it and I was like, I don't need to probably do all that detail. I basically was just like, if I could get a hold of him, yeah. They probably don't know jujitsu.
Yeah, just screw it.
And I was like, that's also too many details. Yeah, I could beat up a monk.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna present something here because this video started and it's actually very satisfying.
No, dude, 3D printing's crazy.
3D printing. This is a house, and as Knife Kala 66 says, it's cement. Reduces traditional home building by 50%. I mean, that's the cost.
I've watched.
Dude, look at that.
An aluminum
Wow.
3D printer.
Look at that.
The music.
I know I had to play the music because it adds to the ambiance.
I'm just waiting for the Rickroll to come in.
Yeah, right. Why are they stacking so many layers of concrete? What is that?
So this is in Austin, Texas. A 3D house being printed, or not a 3D
I
house.
was thinking this is
A
the
home
future
being
of
3D
the
printed.
construction working employment. They
He just
sit
got
here
his
and
phone.
videotape it on their phone.
Just texting.
That's the new. That's
What do you do? Well, I'm in construction.
right.
Here, let me show you.
What's the next trade union for that?
Oh, so you take care of the machine? No, I videotape it.
Yo, this is really
I block
cool
the
though.
wind.
That has to be the heaviest house in the world. It's all concrete. That's insane.
Look at the.
I block
picture,
the
though.
wind. That's incredible. Is the
That
house?
that machine does not look cheap.
No.
Oh my mother of God! You don't want to even get into
So
those prices.
Vulcan printer could create an 800 square foot structure for about $10,000.
Wow.
Huh. Interesting. The houses are being listed. So
Pull up an aluminum 3D printer video if you can find one. I've seen that. They have those in various automotive manufacturing settings.
450K.
Wow. 3D printed homes. Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't think we'd ever get there.
Oh, we here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here.
we're out here.
That's the. This was the-
We're out here printing houses.
We out here. What is it? You said aluminum?
That shit makes me laugh.
Aluminium.
That's so
Aluminium.
funny that it blocks the wind. That's incredible.
I make 3D printed guns.
You do.
Yeah, I saw that. That's probably
Yep.
a terrible, terrible thing. Because
Well, that's
if-
like right. People got on that immediately.
yeah, because you can just it's all open source. You can just
Yeah.
share.
You can literally
your-
get the plans for an AK-47 and
Right.
just make one.
this. This is a.
Which one here? What are we looking at?
A metal 3D printer.
I don't think. Oh, okay.
Trying to find where in this video might be. Dude, these things are crazy.
Well, it's so weird when you
Is that the flux capacitor?
it is. That's actually an engine. That's a full size.
that's the engine.
What is that?
Looks like some
find-
sort of. Okay, so when you are involved in engineering or you're around anything that requires measurements or precision, and you watch one of these machines or you watch like a CNC machine work, you're like, oh yeah, why am I using a ruler?
Oh my god.
Right, dude, exactly.
What are we doing? Why
These
is a human
precision
doing anything?
instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like and it's
right.
perfectly done every time. And I'm out here like, okay,
I know.
it's
Yeah,
like three and a
right.
half.
Yeah, it's like right around 14 inches, maybe 14
you're
and
like,
a half.
Okay, how many little ticks are in between? Okay, so that's like
Yeah, they take measurements to the 1,000th of an inch or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
and it's calibrated
Yeah.
to that.
A lot of pretty much all of the big guitar manufacturers have their CNC machines for their bodies, and they're cutting out of the routes for the electronics and
Because
Yeah.
why would a human do that?
right. Yep.
Yeah, surgery. Yeah, the Da Vinci machines. If you haven't seen one of those work, look up a Da Vinci machine.
Is that for LASIK?
I don't know if they do that for LASIK, but there are, just for surgery.
Nope.
There are.
I don't think I'm gonna watch this. Oh my god, nope, nap.
Actually,
So
I can't
obviously,
do eye
then you
stuff.
run into that's where you run into like the human robot interaction where people aren't comfortable with it. But if you're
No,
doing
no, no.
just
I
like
just
if you're building guitars and stuff.
my thing is eyes, dude. I don't want to watch some layer of someone's
Oh
eye
no,
No.
get
no, I don't
taken
want
out.
to hear. I don't even like hearing those
Yeah,
stories.
yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, you can see them peel back. Then I'm like, do you say peel? I'm
Yep,
good.
I'm
Yeah,
done.
no, 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 no,
I'm
no.
out.
Right, we
You
done.
don't
Good on that.
peel an
Ugh.
avocado.
Jeez. No thanks, no
Yeah,
thanks. I'll let everybody
awake while
imagine
you
this.
go blind. Right, that's true.
Hmm. Crazy.
All
Yeah.
right. Yep. Gross. I'm over it.
We
So-
done.
Was there anything else on the that we didn't talk about on the year left to live that left that we missed?
And I'm sure there was probably more
Basically,
that
I
can
would
be
force
said,
my
but I think
wife and my daughter to be homeless.
right.
And
Right. Naturally. Yeah. And just go off with like a Russian model or something.
it's like I'm not
Jeez.
even there for it.
No.
you
yeah.
guys, you guys are homeless. I'm gonna go over there.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah, but it's only day 2.
Right. Yeah. I have 363 days left. I can't waste them.
I think the count. That's also true.
That's very true. You would have to be
Well, we all have a countdown, right? Already.
That's deep, bro.
To some extent. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
you would
Mm.
there's well, I mean there's a crazy level of difference between knowing and for the thought experiment, you know your expiration date, right? People are told
Yes,
you
for
might
sure.
have 6 months and then they live 6 years. That stuff
Right.
happens all the time too. But if you knew, what would your day what would you do the day before? If you knew
The day
it was
before you
tomorrow.
found out.
No, the day before your expiration date. So if you in this thought experiment you have an end date of tomorrow, what the hell do you do for your last day?
Wake up, just have some dry toast, a half glass of water, maybe some boiled milk.
Some ice soup.
Yeah.
Shave my chest with a one-bladed razor.
Do all the drugs.
Right.
Pull a Rush Limbaugh.
Who was it? There was a comedian that's like, if I'm on my deathbed, I'm doing heroin.
Dude,
I
did see
that was
that.
Chris Porter. He was like, if I make it to
Yeah, Chris
60,
Porter.
I'm doing heroin. He was like, that's when you do it, not when you're young. He was like,
Speaking of that, did you see that professor right now?
yeah,
There's a
he's everywhere.
professor-
He's everywhere right now. Talking about legalizing drugs.
Well, and he uses heroin.
Yeah, he openly says that. He went on Rogan, he was talking about cocaine.
Mhm.
He was like, sometimes people just want to have a good night with their spouse. It's like, damn.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, and so that Hamilton Morris that goes on Rogan, they were also talking about him and any in terms of drug use and whatever. Look up Hamilton Morris if you just want to learn more about uh, psychopharmacological interactions.
Dude's
He's
a
your guy
nut.
for sure. And yeah, they had the whole conversation. Basically, this guy's out in the open saying,
Mhm.
but he's also presenting the cognizant version of the story.
Right.
That
Yeah.
he's aware of what he's doing, he's aware what he's taking, he's in control of which I shared a video with you guys not too long ago about. It was just an interview with a homeless man in Los Angeles or whatever, and he
Yeah,
was
that
a
was
successful
crazy.
guy, very articulate. He had
Mhm.
all of his faculties, but he's sitting there saying, like, "Yeah, I'll probably be homeless until I stop doing heroin, and whenever I feel like I'm done doing this." But he's like, "But I'm not done yet."
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
He said he
just
knew if he would
very
try
matter of
to.
fact.
Yeah, he was like, if I tried to get clean now, I knew I wouldn't because I still want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Very-
but this guy's out in the open. I think he's a professor. He's like an active professor at a prestigious university of some kind.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So, but that's always why I brought up Hamilton Morris, because he always talks about that it's not the drug. It's never the drug. It's the setting and the individual.
Yeah.
Regardless of the intoxicant or whatever it is.
He's a
Yeah.
Columbia
But-
professor, by the way, so Ivy League
Yeah, okay.
professor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like for
And what's
instance,
his name?
like PCP.
His
You see a lot of people getting like crazy violent and like biting people's faces
right.
on PCP. But if you, like Johnny, if you took some at the house right now and just lay down in bed, probably be pretty enjoyable. But it's when people mix it with alcohol and they use it to cope with something, that's when it becomes dangerous.
The stupid
Yeah, right.
fucking sites with their nonsense against ad block.
But I'm not promoting the use of PCP at
Yeah.
all.
Who look
Carl
everybody
Hart, yeah.
everybody look at your screen. Who here would actually stay on this website? This is
And I already
inside
left.
this is
I
yes.
tried to click off and I couldn't.
Dude, this is insider.com. This is a big website and this is how they're interacting with their viewers.
Wow.
I'm
You have to go through 2 pop-ups before you even get to the first window?
ever staying on this website. And instead, I'm just going to go to Google Images, which is all I wanted anyway, and it's this guy.
Yeah.
Carl Hart.
Yeah. So it's just a different side of the coin. But that's a conversation that has been brewing for a while,
Mhm.
and it's at least entering the public sphere at this point.
Yeah. Well,
Drug
now
use for grown-ups is how it's labeled
Right.
there.
Well, now it's information is so obtainable. You can't fool the public like you used to be able to. You're not fooling the public anymore that marijuana is as dangerous as heroin. You know,
Mhm.
that's not a thing anymore. So
Well, and we don't even need to go to heroin. Like if you have alcohol legal, none of these
none
drugs
of these
are killing as many
right.
people as alcohol.
Not even
period.
close. It kills
And
more than
alcohol
all of
is a
them
drug.
combined. Right.
It's a drug.
Right.
You don't want to call it that. It is.
100%.
Whatever.
Dude, I swear
A lot of
sugar's a
research
drug, man.
Yeah, microdosing. Yeah, caffeine. A lot more research now. Yeah, microdosing. Yeah, again, if you're interested in any of those topics, Hamilton Morris. There's several studies, and he talks about all these things for various even psychological conditions. For obviously, everyone knows at this point with cannabis and seizures and stuff like that, but there are some really interesting interactions with some of the what do you call it? More severe mental conditions and some of these harder drugs that you would never know about unless you found one of these conversations because it's not talked about.
Right.
Yeah.
Alcohol is the only drug you can die from withdrawal, right? Right.
Yeah, it actually
Is that true?
That's a crazy when people are at a level of alcoholism, I'm not going to be able to speak completely factually on it, but I've definitely seen and read things on the detox process. You can't have them just stop drinking; they'll die.
Really?
Yeah, there's a different level
That's
of dependence that comes in. I'm sure this is at I don't know what level of alcoholism you need to be at, but yeah, that's
Probably morning to night, I would assume, like, completely relying on it to function. I would assume it'd be at that point, but I'm not entirely
Detox
sure.
from alcoholism.
Oh, there's a phone number if you need to.
Just
There
call
you go.
them.
If this is you, this is your number. And you're anonymous, so there's no reason to not call. Even if you're curious, if you feel like you need to call that number, you call it.
Right.
Take away the stigma and criminality, and people aren't in drug houses and shitty environments. That's also true. So we are making caricatures of these drugs because we are creating the set and setting to be negative.
Right.
We're mandating
Exactly.
it. So
Yep.
like a heroin user, your stereotypical heroin user is not in the right environment, potentially, right? Not
Mhm.
saying obviously you should be taking these drugs, but again, that's just how human psychology and these types of substances interact.
So delirium tremens
Wow,
is apparently the
sounds
part
serious.
of alcohol withdrawal that can lead to
Look
death.
that up. What does that mean? I've never seen that second word. Delirium, obviously, but
Yeah. Shaking,
I'm not-
confusion, hallucinations usually starts 2 to 5 days after the last drink and can be fatal. Shaking, confusion, high
Wow.
blood pressure, fever, hallucinations are some symptoms. Alcoholism treatment may start with detoxification at a medical facility. Sedatives may prevent delirium treatment. So, yeah, there you go.
and
DTS.
these are like the primary sponsors of the Super Bowl.
Right. Right.
And we live in this country that, I mean, you can't go a conversation around random other people without alcohol coming up.
Well, that was one of the first things when this professor, that Carl Hart guy, was on Rogan's podcast. they were talking about illegal drugs, and obviously, of course, death and the danger of them comes up. So he was like, Rogan pointed out immediately that the hypocrisy is you can go to the corner drugstore and buy enough alcohol to kill yourself right now, very easily. Like,
It wouldn't even be that expensive.
right,
No, you could probably do it for what, $15?
right, right.
Honestly.
So
No, I mean, it's incredibly toxic.
Yeah.
So, for sure.
So I would spend the day before my last day on that experiment. How much alcohol would it take to kill?
Well, you probably a lot.
Not these days, man. Not
No?
these days. Nope, that has changed.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do. Day before, probably nothing.
Hell,
Just hang out.
Just
You don't-
office space.
you don't gotta
That's
be
just
rich to do
immediately
nothing, man.
office space. That's the best thing.
just look at my cousin. Broke,
He's
don't do
broke.
shit.
You don't
Wow,
gotta
that's
be
a-
rich to do nothing.
Right. I'll tell you what I do, man.
Just
Hey.
broke, don't do shit.
Hey,
I love that.
Hey, Peter, man. Oh, it's so good, dude. It's so good.
It's such a good character.
He gets so serious. Just, I'll tell you what I do.
No. No.
I'll tell you what I do, man.
No, man. Shit. No. Hell no.
Oh, hell no, man.
I believe you get
Shit,
your ass
no.
kicked for saying something like that.
Yeah. Michael Bolton.
Why should I have to change my name? He's the one who
He's
sucks.
the one that sucks. Yeah.
All right, Office Space. Bringing
Yeah,
bringing us to time.
Perfectly.
I'd probably
build
just
a
eat whatever I wanted. I'd probably have a whole lasagna.
A whole lasagna.
I think you might die from that.
I mean, either way.
I think I know I'm dying in 18 hours. I would be able to handle. It would be a very long 18 hours if you knew the exact time. Remember those websites when we were kids? You used to be able to, like, time of death dot
I know, right?
net.
Your death clock.
Yeah.
Right.
You're gonna die on Tuesday. You look it up when you're in 4th grade.
Right. Oh
And it
my
didn't
god,
even
it's
bother
true.
you?
Right. Right. It's like, oh, okay, well, I have a week.
Right. Okay, I guess I'm not doing my homework.
Right. Snow day. Yeah,
Huh.
it's also there's something interesting there though with the obviously the coming to terms with your own mortality. If you knew that, it would drive some people a little
Oh, you
to a
go.
negative space.
I think probably the majority. You ran that experiment on. It probably would be different in the country you run that experiment in too.
Sure.
Yeah. But
Regrets.
I was
Yeah,
just,
I don't think. I don't.
I was
that'd be good.
I was just having very very brief conversation. I think it was online with Dad. It was actually about our last week's topic of that I don't really look back and have regrets. So that's something that good about.
What about you, Alex? Any regrets?
No.
Let me tell you.
All right, thank you guys
But-
for tuning in.
Sit down, kiddies. Let me tell you about regrets. No, I think I don't
You
think I've been
slipped
too much of
unlit
an
cigarette.
yeah.
Where'd you get that? Yeah, it's a pencil.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I think I've been pretty sufferable the past 27 years, so I don't really have
That is not
Regrets.
true. He is an asshole,
that
dude.
Wow. Okay.
is true.
Yeah.
Now you guys go out there, you spread cheer,
Positivity.
Right.
positivity, you positively impact the person to your right.
But you know,
And
that's
laugh.
when you're close to someone, that is endearing. I had
Yeah,
you know, a fuck you is a warm hug from some people.
That is true.
You know? It
Yeah.
depends on your relationship. I always
A
the
warm hug. Okay.
well
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
the whatever.
It's very sweet.
Language, it's all the intent and how it's received. Isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
Anybody else on board with me? No.
No?
I was just thinking, I was intentionally trying to leave it just silent.
Am I alone
Yeah.
on this island? Do I really just hurt the feelings of
This-
people around me all the
This
time?
is the time when you are actually on an island.
Right?
Yeah.
Jordan,
No
no
one
one
else-
knows what he's talking
No one else
You
has
have
that experience.
irreparably damaged me with your
Right.
criticisms.
Yeah, right, dude. You and Isabel, what I have to deal with you two? Come on, get out of here.
What are you talking about? We constantly build you up.
Right. They're like, we can see your ears through your headphones.
Jeez, thanks. You know, I have
All right.
my ears stick out.
Yeah.
Yes. Keep writing the journal thing, especially in light of this conversation. It's another
Yeah.
reason to write down stuff.
Really like that. I honestly might look into an actual like nice leather bound blank. What the leather binding did it?
I got to take a lot of notes and stuff, and I was like, I used to have this hardcover engineering ledger, and I was like, I'd like another one of those. And she started looking stuff up, and there's all this leather bound stuff, and I was like, I don't want a leather.
Yeah.
No?
I don't. Every time she kept pulling it up, I was like, nope, nope.
Want a tome? The giant.
Yeah, just
out of the book.
Just get one of these. These are like 10. These are like 10 cents.
Can't see it, Alex.
It's here. You see it now?
No, we
It's
can't
even
see it
more
at all.
invisible.
Now
Now I
everything
can't
is
see
gone.
you.
Right. Here, he's probably talking about one of these.
Yes.
This
I was
one's-
intentionally holding it directly up to the
I-
camera so you can
Yeah, but-
I mean, this is an engine.
I think it's a good idea. Well, I'm going leather bound, John. You can have your hardcover shit.
Yeah,
but-
whatever. You can have that book from Hocus Pocus or whatever.
Oh, not bad.
That's pretty cool. The Book of Spells
That is a pretty cool book.
or Book of Shadows.
Dude, if I handed if my like great
This
grandkids
this is your father's eye.
Yeah, picked
Oh
up
my god.
picked up that book versus just like a, whatever material this is. It's probably 3D printed material.
I always feel like he's staring at me.
It's because he is. That's his eyeball.
Yes. Oh, I didn't know Dad had green eyes.
That's so sweet.
Oh shit. Actually, I don't have to get near the camera anymore. I can zoom it in on me.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. Ah, terrific.
I've upgraded my situation.
Still couldn't find a beard in there.
Dude. I just work with what I have because I don't like my face being clean shaven. It's not what I want on my face, but it's the best I got.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Highlighted
I
line.
keep all my hair up in here. I mean, you guys would be shocked by how disgusting it is. Hold on.
Yeah, Alex is like, I haven't shaved my face.
Highlight of the last 5
What?
minutes is Alex. Yo, tell me what was 90s emo music like?
Hold on.
Dude. No. That's
You look like the bad guy from Fifth Element.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Zorg.
Or
I
you
think
remember
it's Zorg.
Charlie's Angels, the creepy thin man? Like
That
the
too.
guy,
It's
the guy
both
that
of
follows him around. Yeah.
Yeah, pull up a picture of both.
Dude,
Yeah,
no,
for
no.
sure. Real quick, then we close on that.
Yeah, okay.
This Alex.
With the soul patch.
Dude. Oh, this is the look.
away from an there it
Oh my-
is.
Yo, how do
Can
I
you
get
do
a
that face
cranium?
now?
Oh
Zoom
my
out, take your hat
god.
off.
Dude, the internet. The internet wins.
No, go
That's
back.
hilarious.
Go back to that picture of the side. Alex, do that face with your hair like that.
Wait, hold on. Let's see.
Side by side, dude. No, it's all in the mouth. You got to get some weird.
Out. 1-to-1. You look just like your father.
And then what was you said?
The
Creepy,
bad guy from Charlie's Angels. The
creepy thin man. Dude,
There it is.
There it is.
he's smelling her hair and screaming. Alex, is that what you do? You cut off a little bit of Aubrey's hair, and that's what you do when she goes to work?
Yeah, she thinks she's balding, but it's really just me just
It's
taking
actually a
locks
shot of his
out.
morning routine.
He cuts it with a cane sword as well. He walks in there like this.
He did have a cane sword.
Dude.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Well-
on that note.
On that note, Alex, you're You're a movie star, and
Awesome. I'm
Jordan.
still not rich though. Still waiting on that.
Hey,
But yeah,
good talk though, man. Chat, thanks for the active participation. Thanks for the follows. TT
Yeah, thanks for the
Slug
follows, guys.
and Flaturf guy.
Flaturf.
Appreciate you.
yeah. What's
Sundays.
next week? We already know, right?
Yeah, we do. Next week is going to be a conversation on cancel culture. How do you oppose cancel culture, but still make the progress that cancel culture's trying to make, right? You're trying to eliminate sexism, racism, discrimination from whatever. So what is a better method?
Or do you oppose cancel culture?
Right. Or are you
hot take.
Are you on board? You work that
Hot
day?
take.
You work on
Hey.
Oh, it's all good.
You got a phone and headphones?
Yeah.
No excuse.
Listen in.
No
Plus
excuse.
we'll also
No,
put it on
you have to do it.
right?
Yep.
It'll be on YouTube as well.
Yeah, now that you followed, it's just that's what happens.
Yeah,
It just
part of
comes
the cult.
on, and
Right.
regardless of even if you want to listen to us,
Full blast. It
Just
turns up the volume on your phone immediately.
We're there.
right? License and registration. You can't peel an avocado. What was that?
Right.
That's it. Yeah, Sundays at 9 a.m. You know, for now, it's our current live schedule. But yeah, appreciate the input. Good talk, Alex. I loved your ideas. I think that totally kind of.
But you were gonna say hair.
Well,
For sure,
no,
overshadowed.
that's
Overshadowed.
the hair is not great. No, but
I appreciate that. Well, you don't have any, so
yeah, I have to say that from a
Dang.
place of jealousy. Look at where my hairline would be.
it's like a
I know, it's
W.
ridiculous.
What is that, man? And that happened when I was like, oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna grow my hair back out. I woke up the next morning like bald. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. Never mind.
I did the
guess.
same thing, except I had long hair, and I was like, I think I'm gonna grow it out to my shoulders.
I had long hair too. I was ready to. I was like, you know what? 'Cause honestly, I saw Dave rocking a ponytail. I was like, damn.
Yep.
I think
I
I
could
would
do
do
that.
that. I think I'd do that. And then life was like, actually,
You're bald.
yeah, you're gonna not
Yeah.
do that ever.
You can check out anytime you like, but you can
You
never
can never
That's
leave.
right.
There you go. That's it.
Never.
It's true.
You're now infected with a room 145 positive vibes. Positive.
We were
You're
raised.
positive for room 145.
Hey, we had some good topics today. That was
Hey, when you test
that was good
positive
talk.
for room 145, you eat condoms at Michelin star restaurants.
Here we go. Here we go.
yeah.
to
So
raise
it's
awareness.
come full
Context,
circle.
You just
It's
turned
come
in
full
right
circle.
now. You gotta check out.
Yeah. If you
some
missed the
stuff early.
early
You got
conversation,
homework.
that sounds terrible.
So
Yeah,
now
it's
we're
like-
also assigning you homework. So every day you come,
Right.
you've got to do.
Yeah, because
X,
you missed
Y, and
out
Z.
on filling a condom with chipotle ingredients.
That's
So-
right.
So if you came in any bit late, I mean, you missed out.
You really
Yeah.
missed out for sure. Cool.
And so that's what we would do with A Year Left to Live. That's what the context is. So if you saw the title and that's what it was about.
Yeah, you knew.
So thank you.
Peeling avocados
Thank
to
you.
stuff into condoms.
Wow. Okay.
On that note, gentlemen,
Yeah.
everybody
Next
in the
week,
chat, have a great
See you
week.
again.
Yeah.
Thanks, y'all.
Write some notes about your week and day and keep it up.
Yeah, come share. Tell us a little bit about
sure.
what you guys are doing in the chat. Little music on here to play us out.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Dude, this one is called What Color is Green? That's the title of this track. Nope. Never mind. Someone just took it over. Ray. You know what, Ray? You're playing music for our daughter in the other room and it took over my Spotify account. So,
I was
sorry,
like,
everybody.
oh, this is an interesting intro.
I was like,
Yeah.
that one's definitely not green.
Yep, whatever. I'm stealing it back.
You're going to try it again?
This is green.
No, it's not. It says which color is green. So some part of the song is green. You have to find out.
I gotta find out.
That part.
We're going to Velvet Rain to play us out. All right, everybody. Take it easy.
All right. Later, y'all. Have a
See
good
you guys.
weekend.